viewers, and welcome to another episode on G Sweet 90s. My name is Glory Ntiadem. On today's show, we'll be talking about kids. Now that kids are going on holiday, what are those safety measures they need to apply? Going on halls, visiting uncles and aunties or grandmas, or wherever they go to. And today with us, we have Elizabeth Azubike, child specialist, and Titi Layo, child security safety expert. Welcome guys, welcome ladies to our show today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's just with 9 days, and yes, we know holidays coming up, and then most schools have gone on halls already. So what are we going to check out when we're sending our kids to grandmas or uncles or aunties' place this season?
All right, thank you once again, Glory. For me, how long have we been giving children information about their own safety? Because I don't think it's until they are going on holiday we should revisit that. It should be something we just need to talk about if actually we've been doing it right from when they were young, and so we need just to remind them. It should be a reminder, that what we've been doing about our own safety, about your own safety. And now that you're going to see grandma, ensure that you don't talk to strangers, you keep yourself safe, from people touching you in the wrong, giving you a bad touch. You've given enough information to the child. But where the child is going to, how much of security information or safety information do they have? So it's also important that where they are going to, you need to be sure that they will be safe there, and they also have the same education your child has in terms of child safety and protection.
Lizzie?
Yeah, thank you very much, Glory. And talking about children, we know it's very important that the safety and security is always at our high. And I'll be going straight to the home safety tips right now. For children who would be home alone, it's advisable that every electrical appliances are turned off. That is, if they would be home. And for the ones who understand and know how to use these things, the younger ones in the house should be kept far from these things. And for children like my children who stay home in the house alone without the care of mates and no uncle or auntie around, you do not for any reason open the door for anyone who comes around knocking. Even if it's like I tell them, like Titi rightly said, you've given them this education from the onset. So now that they will be home during the holiday, depending when you go out and all, even if my sister or brother comes around, like I've been telling my children for a very long time, they shouldn't open. And if they must open, a call should be put across to my sis or brother. And then you put it on speaker. We do this thing, we educate them every day. So this is the time when they carry out these things that has been taught them.
Because if you could remember one incident that happened, the mom left her kids and then ran out to buy something. Although she left the candle on or fire or something.
These are babies. You should also teach them in the house where you have gas, you have other stuffs. They shouldn't go into the kitchen. Whatever you're dropping for them should be left in the sitting room on their coolers and all. And then teach. My child is already 10, going on 11. She knows how to ignite the gas. She knows where to turn it off. We've been doing this rehearsals for a very long time.
For me, I would also recommend that for a 10-year-old, putting on the gas, we need to be careful.
I saw a video of a lady who was actually flaunting the daughter, like she's excited that my daughter can actually cook, make oats and all that. But I don't think the child is up to 10. Within me, I was like, that's for me too much exposure for such a child, because for an adult it's not safe. You using gas.
I said something.
An adult must be involved.
I said something that I had already taught her where to ignite, how to off, but they do not go there. If something we forget at times. Yes, I would say that no matter how careful you are, once in a while you forget certain things. I remember when I was boiling water and I didn't even remember. Yes, I didn't remember I had it on the fire. Because I had taught someone. She went to turn it off. You get? So that's what I'm trying to say.
Let's go back to Titi. Grandma visits and uncles and aunties and all. Do you think it's proper for you to even send your kids to go visit families when you're not there?
Then what are we talking about, the family culture? What about the bonding? Are we now, because of safety, we're going to exonerate the child from bonding with their grandmas?
But the painful part, people that molest these kids are not strangers. They're within. Sometimes they're within us.
And that is why we said, as much as you give the child education, where they are also going to, You need to be sure that people around there are also safety conscious.
Okay.
For a grandma, she wouldn't want any harm to come near her grandchild, obviously, no matter how wicked that human being could be.
Okay.
They also want to be in charge to take care of their grandchildren. But it's important to also let grandma know this is how we do things in our home.
Okay.
And this is how we're going to carry it out also in your own house.
Okay.
The emergency numbers, your children must be able to know it in case grandma doesn't have access to call you. Like for my child, they must know my whole number. Often, they can call me at any time. Call their dad. Then the grandma or someone older should also be known to the child because something safe environment. And then so that safe environment includes where they are going to. Before you can let your child go, you yourself you are convinced that that place is safe. Because if you know that place is not safe, you won't allow your child to go there. You are talking of grandma. What about the neighbors around you?
You know the fact about these things is when you bring your child, I bring my child, everybody, you're in the midst of your cousins and nieces. That is when they tend to practice some kind of thing.
Funny,
you know, growing up we could remember the mama papa thing. Mama and papa, let's go and play mama and papa. We didn't even understand the picture, but it was exciting. So at this point, with so much education, do you know some kids know it's wrong, but they still try to do it and audit until it's gone far.
That's why you should still keep talking to them and making sure they don't hide anything from you.
That's the truth. But my problem here is, as much as we lay emphasis on education, do we also tell the children the consequences of some of their actions? That's where we're missing it. Let's be honest to ourselves. When you tell a child, don't touch that fire,
to burn you.
Now they will ask you, mommy, why? Just don't touch it. That's
they
all
keep
we
asking
say.
why.
And then you're not telling them to burn you.
You know, we just don't go there. I'm telling you, don't go there.
We experiment in our homes. I experiment a lot. Okay, I'm cooking and then you're always coming to the kitchen. Yes, I'll just make sure that very tiny finger of yours touches the cooking gas. And I bet you, such a child wouldn't go back there again tomorrow. I'm ironing, you're coming close to me. I'll make sure the iron just not to peel your skin.
Just to test it.
Just to test.
Because
You're
not a good mother.
Yes.
You're a practical mom.
I'm a practical mom. In a practical world. So you're not doing it to burn the child. Just to ensure that child doesn't go. Because if you're not there, they could go on to try this thing themselves.
It's true.
I remember my younger sister went one of those days, we would always iron, and then she went plugged the iron, my immediate younger sister, and then she was like, why are they always ironing clothes? That was our Glory, your namesake, people, I don't know. She plugged the iron and then ironed her palm.
Jesus.
She ironed her palm. It was very, very bad. God saved that she was quite young. So every child that came after Glory, my nieces, my cousins, my mom would make sure they had a feel of the hotness of that iron. So I learned from that too.
Alright guys, we'll go on this short break. We'll be right back. And yes guys, don't forget to follow our social media handles at GSweet9days, and of course on Instagram is at GSweet9days, and then our YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Welcome back guys. So in today's society, they forget to enlighten the boy child, because boys get raped and assaulted, but we do not create awareness for our boy child. So we're going to throw it back to our advocates to know what they have to say about it. I feel today people just ignore the fact that boys have been molested and then they don't talk about it. What do you have to say about it?
We believe so much in the girl child being molested more than the boys. But it's so unfortunate that in every 5 boys, at least 2 are molested. You know, and that's why we as advocates of the child, we're taking it more importantly to enlighten both the girl and the boy child, because their own safety also is important. These are going to be fathers tomorrow. They'll be the leaders, you know, in churches, in organizations here and there. And then if their childhood is dysfunctional now, it will be a big problem, you know, for them when they become adults. And so that's why it's more important to also teach them about their own prevention, know about their body safety, know the right names of the body, how to protect themselves, you know. So I implore every parent out there, or caregivers, it's not until you become a parent before you can teach a child. Every child you come in contact with, you really need to teach them about how to keep themselves safe.
Thank you very much. So Liz, what do you have to say to what she has said?
it's important that the male children are also considered in homes. A lot of people, a lot of families feel that these female children are the only ones that need attention and protection. But like Titi rightly said, a lot of male children are being abused.
Yeah,
we hear of cases, we read about cases, but people just project the female child alone.
Yeah.
And I believe from the homes, as you're teaching your female child about their body parts, the male should also be taught.
Yes.
And then parents, they concentrate on the girl child alone in terms of affections and all. They believe it's wrong for a male child to cry. They believe it's wrong for a male child to be pampered. When this child is being abused outside, they would not really have the comfort to come tell you that, this is what is happening. The confidence, yes, that's it. So parents should ensure that their male children are being looked out for. I've got just girls, but I ask my nephew questions a lot about who touches him, what he does at school, and we should also ensure that as we are being protective of our children, we should make sure our own children are not the ones who abuse
other people
outside.
When we talk about body parts, kids knowing the right names of them, but do you tell them the real names, like this is your breast, this is your this? Because I've heard what you give your vagina one special name, like oh yeah,
it's important to tell them the right names of the body, but because when predators touches them, they are giving them funny names, they won't be able to ascertain what part of that body. But if you mention it's a breast, then they'll be able to tell you. And then that's it confidently. That word confidently.
Because when they come back home, they'll be like, Mommy, someone touched my breast. But when it comes like, Mommy, someone touched my flower, you'll be like, where's flower?
Where do you get to pick a flower from? We start asking a lot of questions that are necessary. So that's why it's important. And then for them to also to know that name helps them to also have confidence in their own body. So that's what it does to the child.
No, I have a problem with what they're exposed to. Animation. It's a big problem because people, I think the demons on reality now, they are beginning to use animation to buy the kids' attention.
Yes.
Like what I saw, a complete video game on how you make cake to go and surprise your boyfriend, and then when you get there, you find your boyfriend cheating. These are all cartoon characters. I was shocked at that point. Or another one where the other character told her, "Come in, baby," and then I saw them making out. I was just dumbfounded. So when it comes to animation, what do you think? At what level or length they need to know the right ones to watch and not to watch? So, what's your take on the effects of cartoon on our children?
Like you mentioned earlier, children should have an age appropriate for whatsoever they watch on TV. It shouldn't be limited to only cartoon. We're talking of entertainment generally now. We also need to monitor, watch with them, and to be able to caution them. If you know that what they are watching is not suitable for their age, it's not adding any value in terms of education to them. They should be told why they will be stopped for not watching that. Because there are a lot of terrible cartoons coming out every day. And you and I are not knowledgeable about that. And they are the best position to tell us the names of the cartoon, what the cartoon is all about. Like when my children are watching, I'll ask them, what's the name of this one? So what are you learning from this? I ask them all that. So we have to be intentional what we're doing as parents. We just have to. So that's my review about it.
Lizzie?
They said it all. Be intentional. Involve yourself in whatever they're watching. Know what they're watching, and if it's not educative, ensure that you put a stop to it.
Okay. So on our final take, while we go off from this episode, what advice do you have for parents out there and kids that are going to be going on holidays this season?
Once again, I would recommend that you allow children to be children. We shouldn't make them adults before they be turned to be adults.
Yeah.
And whatsoever we're doing, let us be conscious and intentional in protecting our children. Let them also be aware of how to protect themselves from all forms of harm.
Abuse,
all forms of abuse, whatsoever you call it, even danger out there. The way people talk to them outside. Some children are withdrawn so much into themselves that they've lost their self-esteem. So these are things we need to help. Love the child unconditionally, no matter what the child could have done to you. That's my take to parents.
Yeah, understand the child, know every child individually.
Yes.
And then also know that security and safety is everybody's business.
So we've heard from our experts Take care of your kids, pay good attention of their growth, let them be children. Don't start introducing them to adulthood. And yes, be an intentional parent. Focus on their well-being and sanity. Until next time, guys, it's G Sweet 90s. And yes, guys, don't forget to follow our social media handles at G Sweet 90s. And of course, on Instagram is at G Sweet 90s. And then our YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I still remain Glory Tiagen on G Sweet 90s.